Homemade rainbow churros.
Let's see what's cooking. It's time for Yo-Yo Makes 12.
Hello everyone, starting off with a medium-sized saucepan, 1 cup of water, and a 1/4 cup for about 45 grams of butter. Bring this to a boil over medium-high heat, give it a stir so that all that butter is melted, and then when it starts boiling, take it off the heat and immediately stir in 1 cup or 171 grams of all-purpose flour. Stir it in until you get a thick paste and it kind of pulls away from the sides and makes like a dough ball. Then put that aside and let that cool for about 3 minutes. In the meantime, beat up 2 eggs and stir in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. Then you're going to take that mixture and pour it into your dough that's been cooled a little bit, and then stir it. It's going to seem like it would be impossible for that to come together, but it will. Just keep stirring with a wooden spoon until you get something that's nice and thick, and it'll be sticky but smooth. Then divide the batter equally among 6 bowls, and then you're going to tint each one a different color of the rainbow. I'm using gel paste food coloring because it's nice and vibrant and it doesn't add a lot of liquid to whatever you're putting it into. Now take a piece of plastic wrap and spread it out onto your countertop. Then take each of those colors of that dough and place it into a ziploc bag or a pastry bag. Then you're going to cut off one of the corners if you're using a Ziploc bag, and then you're going to draw logs of each color onto the plastic wrap on your countertop. And you want to make them about 12 inches long or so. So just keep, depending on how big the hole is in your Ziploc bag, keep putting layers of dough until it's all out of the bag. I realized I needed a bigger hole in the Ziploc bag as I went on, so I didn't have to go by 2 or 3 times. So there are all the colors of the rainbow in sequence. Now the sequence is not really vital here because this is what we're going to do. You're going to take the ends of the plastic wrap and you're going to fold it over onto itself to make like a rainbow log shape. And then just make sure the plastic wrap is nicely sealed at the top. Then take a pair of scissors and you're going to cut off one of the ends, and you're going to cut off enough of that plastic wrap so that the dough is kind of sticking out at the end. Then you're going to place a large pastry tip into a pastry bag, and you're going to slide that plastic wrap log in there with the cut end at the bottom so that when you squeeze it, it's going to come out. Then heat some oil to 350 degrees and then squeeze out the dough into the oil, and then use a pair of scissors or a knife just to snip it off. And then you're going to fry these about 3-4 minutes until they are golden brown. Now, as most fried food goes, you shouldn't crowd them in the pan, so just do a few at a time. Then you're going to turn them over if you're using just a small amount of oil like I'm doing. If you're using a deep fryer with a deep well of oil, then you probably won't have to do this. It'll be deep enough so that they'll brown on their own. Then take them out, let them drain on some paper toweling, and while they're still hot, you're going to roll them into some cinnamon sugar. Now, I didn't put a whole lot of cinnamon in my sugar because I wanted the rainbow color to show through. I didn't want it to be masked by the cinnamon on the outside. But it really didn't matter because when you bite into these, the rainbow color inside the churros are very vibrant, as you can see. So even though the outside's a little dull, when you bite into these, the rainbow is beautiful. Now, I've had churros before. I had no idea that they're actually made this way. I mean, I knew it was some kind of dough, but I thought it was more like a bread dough, not like a choux pastry dough like this is. So that was an interesting surprise for me. These are delicious. They taste just like the ones I've bought and eaten commercially. The only thing I had issues with my churros was they were splitting. I was getting a split on some of them. So any churro makers out there, give me some hints on how I can keep this from happening. Now, for those of you that have been watching me for a while, you know that I have a special love for rainbow colored food, and I have a rainbow playlist that at the time that I'm posting this particular video, I have 52 different kinds of rainbow food on it. So if you're looking for more ideas, go check it out.